Hi there, it's LDake again with Kale Realty, your Illinois licensed broker. And Thanksgiving is less than a week away, and I know that many folks are planning a menu or at least figuring out that one contribution that they're going to be bringing. And one of the big items on the menu besides the turkey and the stuffing is the green bean casserole. I hate the green bean casserole. And it took me a long time to figure out why I don't like it. I've tried many ways to fix it, but it was the one constant that seemed like you had to have it, and that's the cream of mushroom soup. I even tried cream of celery. I tried cream of chicken and this and that, and it's the goop. I don't like the goop. So I figured no goop. Fresh green beans, stuff like that. So if you're still interested, because I know some people just can't break tradition, even though it's only been around since like the 40s, it's not tradition. Stick around and you can watch how I make something a little different and a little fresher and fewer calories. All right, and we're back. So let me show you what we're working with. I have 1 onion sliced thin, 1 8-ounce box of mushrooms, the little box, and I sliced that up too. Some black pepper in a grinder. I have a half package of bacon, you know, the 1 pound package, and I've already fried it up and I already got it bacon bitted. Some of the grease is in there too. I have 1 small package of already slivered almonds because slivering almonds is kind of a lot of work. And then I have some Worcestershire sauce. I believe that's maybe like a couple teaspoons or tablespoons, I mean. And then I have some minced garlic, and again, maybe a couple tablespoons. And then of course I have the green beans. These are fresh green beans that I bought the bag that the store was already selling. Now I've already taken the liberty of cutting off the ends and of course rinsing it off. Now I know that it's supposed to be, pretty much ready to go, but trust me, you want to rinse it because the water came out pretty cloudy and gross. So gotta do that. All right, so let's get this going. We got all of our mushrooms. We're going to do this up first. And as you can see, this takes up the whole pan on itself. I don't want to crowd the thing too much. So we're going to get this fried up and then we'll set this to the side. All right, look at what we got here now. The oil that I put in the pan that was left over from the bacon grease, that's all absorbed into the mushrooms. Now this isn't completely sauteed, but that's because we're going to reintroduce everything in a little bit. So we are going to set this aside, and now I'm going to do the onions. One of these days I really am going to buy more frying pans, but until that day comes, I went ahead and added a little bit more of the fat to the pan, and now I am going to saute these onions. I'm going to do the same thing like the mushrooms and not completely make them all the way golden brown. Just enough to where when I merge everything together, they fit in the pan pretty good. God, I love the smell of onions. Okay, so that is just about right. So I'm going to reintroduce the mushrooms. Then I'm going to add the bacon, get the last of that oil out of there. Then my garlic. And Worcestershire sauce. Now, if you're doing the vegan route, there is a vegan Worcestershire sauce that it doesn't have the fish in it, the anchovy. So you can certainly use plant bacon if you want to go that route. And the other thing I'm going to be adding is while those onions were going, I blanched the green beans because I like a crispy vegetable. My husband likes a soft vegetable. So I'm meeting in the middle and I cook them just a little bit. That's one thing I don't like about the traditional green bean casserole is everything comes out of a can, which means the green beans came out of a can, which means they're mushy and slimy and a weird color. And I don't like any of that. But this is nice and bright and green. And all these flavors are getting together. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Oh, but Lori, where's the crispy, the crunchy, the onions on top? Yeah, remember I talked about that? We're going to be putting some toasted slivered onions on, or toasted slivered almonds on top instead of the fried onions that comes out of the can. Because I know that that's important to a lot of people. And hey, it does make for a presentation. You want that, all those different things going on, including that little bit of crisp that you're used to. And the difference on my version versus a traditional version is leftover green bean casserole. Those onions aren't crispy on top anymore. They've turned into coagulated mush. Whereas with the toasted slivered almonds, you don't have that problem. You will have leftovers with a crispy top still. Okay, so I'm putting everything into a pie dish because this is pretty much ready to be served. Go ahead, and I'm going to put that right there. Now, the last step is the toasted almonds. Same pan. I just washed it out, dried it, and then I toasted this in with a tiny little bit of spray. Pretty much the same way that I would toast brown rice before I make a batch. Now, if you have someone who has a nut allergy, obviously you can put this to the side. But toasting the almonds, it really does bring out their flavor, and it adds a little bit of interesting color as well, instead of just being a shocking white. And there you have it. No goop. And remember, I always have time for you and your referrals.